It's one of the NFL's newest venues, but it's already earned a reputation as one of its best. This is US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And off we go from Minneapolis. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. McCarthy starting off with a throw. Oh, the football's loose. And the Broncos corral it. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. Well, this one's certainly off to an exciting start, partner. Hopefully this is the type of energy we're going to see the whole way today.
Defensive coaches, Kate, love to say, steal a possession, find a way to steal a possession. Well, they stole it on the very first play, and now put their offense in the driver's seat.
That'll be caught by Troy Franklin. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Cut by Sutton. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. In the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Play action with Mix. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. They'll throw again. Nix. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Vikings get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Well, how quickly things can change. They were looking so good just a couple of plays ago, and suddenly, not anymore. A red zone look comes up empty with that interception.
I think the pressure got to him there, Kate. And I don't even mean all those pass rushers, although they were certainly coming too. I mean the pressure of being 3rd down in the red zone. That's where you got to slow yourself down as a quarterback and know you've got to simply protect the football.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. McCarthy operating from the pistol. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That's caught for the first. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. 6 yards the pickup there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
Throwing on 3rd, McCarthy. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Trying to find Justin Jefferson. And 4th and 4 coming up.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
And that hit at the 5, but got the bounce it needed to reach the end zone for a touchback. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Now the first run of the game for Javonte Williams. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
1st and 10 now from the 30. They stay on the ground with Williams. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Another run for Williams. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. It's a meager 2-yard gain, but that's enough to award them the 1st down. New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Throwing on 1st down, Nix. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 1. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught. No luck finding his receiver that time. And now it's 3rd and short.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, and not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
You know, Kate, my years in Indianapolis with Peyton, he loved to know the tendencies of a defense. In 3rd and short, more often than not, all across the league, you get man-to-man coverage. It really is a good time to throw. Unfortunately, couldn't execute that pass in a 4th down instead.
Here comes the Broncos punting unit. And this is the first time he's been called on today. He was only needed twice in last week's win, and he gets this one away. And this kick works out pretty well for him. It's blown dead at the 12. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Forced out to his right. Now he takes it. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
2nd down now, 7 to go. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Short pass brought in. And he pushes it up across the 30 before going out.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. McCarthy looking to throw. Dive in, and he gets his hands underneath for the catch. They manage 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Backfield is empty as they motion him out right. Buys time, rolling right. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield, get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. So that was an exciting first quarter, but not the cleanest. A couple of early turnovers. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They're moving it well, but now face a 3rd and short. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They manage 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
They'll run here on 1st down. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. On play action now, McCarthy. He's got a man left. And he goes down approaching that 10-yard line.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Now it's McCarthy. Throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Christian Harris picks it off. And the Broncos will take over as he records his first interception of our season. Well, they were thinking at least a field goal on the drive if they couldn't reach the end zone, right? But the interception keeps them from even getting 3 out of this possession.
You really hope at the end of this game you don't look back and go, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If we could have gotten some points out of that drive early, we wouldn't be in the situation we are in now.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. drive begins with a run. It's Williams. And he has this up across the 10-yard line. The rookie from Florida in on that stop.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
On second down, a run with Williams. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
Completed to Sutton. And this one does not go far.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Up the gut they go with Williams. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
From the 36. That's complete. It's Javonte Williams. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. The tackle made by Mozzie Smith.
It is so hard for these defenses. I don't envy them at all. We try to monitor where these running backs are. Are they chipping? Are they delaying their route? He's such an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, it's Nix. He has the first over the middle. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series. I'll tell you this, Kate, they doubled him knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. That's doing your homework. A bit surprising QB still threw it in that direction with how well the defense had that one covered.
Nix again on 2nd and 10. Pass taken in by Sutton. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Shotgun snap to Nix. This gets the 1st and more. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. The big play nets them 17 yards. And the Broncos will have a first down. Working inside the red zone. This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
So it's the 2-minute warning here from Minneapolis. And it's the Broncos. Backed up a mile here on 2nd down. Give to Williams from the gun. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
You know you love some of my buzzwords, kid. I know you do. And this one was about willpower. He got the rock a long way from the chains and put his teammates on his back for a heck of a run. And a great try at that first down.
Drops back. Needs an open man.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Bertolet able to knock it through. And they're on the board.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give him the lead.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. He's going to field this at the 2. Big shot at the end of that return as he gets it just past the 20. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
McCarthy trying again on 2nd down. He lays out over the middle to bring that one in. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. 1st and 10 from the 41. Now McCarthy. That pass is complete to McBride. And a solid gain gets them across the 45 before he goes out. That's 16 on the pickup. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get them enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Back to the air, McCarthy. Oh, put some heat on this deep ball. Big gain downfield. And that's a Minnesota touchdown. We've seen him do a lot more to reach the end zone on a catch, Brock. That one was kind of fed right to him.
Yeah, they say the running backs have a nose for the end zone. You know who else does? Every skill guy out there,
Yeah.
because they want to put a touchdown on the board.
One after try good by Reichert. And the Vikings take a 4-point lead. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Here's a return from the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. Coverage team tracks him down as the return reaches the 35. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. Nix from the gun. Caught, this is Greg Dulcich. And they can't chop to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. So the complexion of this drive has changed dramatically now. New set of downs inside the 35. Throwing on 1st down, Nix. Into the hands of Dulcich. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Here's 2nd and 2. Left side now, caught by Sutton. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Nix. And that's incomplete, and it also stops the clock with just 5 seconds left. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Oh, that is such a bummer. A dropped touchdown right in the end zone. We're going to see how quickly he can flush this one. He better, because they got to make it impact later.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Here's Nix to throw. And he has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos take the lead just before halftime. That one not easy, Brock. Threading the needle there. Boy, there was a lot of traffic in the end zone, but he still found his man.
Yeah, you don't really recommend challenging double coverage in the end zone in this league, but when you give your receiver a chance in that spot, that's what they love. And sometimes you just have to trust that your guys are better than the ones surrounding him, and he'll go make that play anyway.
That one right down the middle. And the Broncos push their lead to 3. Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. One last play before the break. Looking to throw. That's Jefferson. He's got it. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this 2nd half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Here's Williams to start the drive. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time to step off the gas. You can feel this defense right there on their heels. And now's the best chance to push the envelope and get aggressive.
1st down, and they go right back to him. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
Second down now, 7 to go. Straight ahead with Williams. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They got 2 yards there. That leaves them with 3rd down and 5.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Now Nick's on 3rd down. That's caught for the first. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. That's good for 7 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Cut by Sutton. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
From the gun, a carry by Williams. And he gets taken down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. They'll need 4 to convert now after no gain on 2nd down.
Big man up front said, "Not in my house." Let me tell you, Kate, once you're in the grasp of one of those big old fellas on the D-line, you're done. They would say it on the East Coast like this: it's over. Over.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Vikings have it as he records the first interception of his young career. They worked hard to have the halftime lead, Brock, but now that defense working hard to take it away.
Not wasting any time, are they? You know, they love to say about baseball, Kate, baseball's a game of adjustments. So is the NFL, and especially in the second half. You have all that data from the first half. You want to take it all in, and defensively you want to adjust exactly what they did to take the ball away there to begin the second. Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Completed over the middle. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Quincy Williams making the tackle.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight ends short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage. The trusty tight end.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
And he's brought down before the return gets far. Call that punt a 52-yard effort. And the Broncos get set to take over. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Running right, it's Williams. And he'll have it up to about the 23-yard line on the play. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Call it a gain of 6, and they need only 2 now on 3rd down.
Okay, why do I think right now, as fullback heads to the sideline after that call, the lobbying begins. Give me the rock. Fullbacks don't normally get a ton of carries, but they also typically don't get plays like that.
Third and just 2 to go. Blitz coming, Nix. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
Completed to Reynolds. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. This is Williams, and he's brought down for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Too much lead on that throw. That ball's incomplete ahead of his target. Looking for his wide receiver there. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing from the gun here. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. When we look back at this one, Brock, it is going to be defensive highlight after defensive highlight. And there again, the examples, they just keep coming.
The physical play has been the trademark, really, from the first snap through this second half. There have not been many just uncontested, clean, efficient plays. Every effort's been answered, and that's why that scoreboard's not been lit up.
That punt goes 63 yards. And the Vikings are going to take over from deep in their own side. They're out and set. 1st and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Makes the grab in bounds left side. He picks up 28 on the play. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
And a massive hit at the end of that play. Oh, baby. But he hangs on through it. Still able to get that 1st down.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
Throwing on 1st, it's McCarthy. Chased out to his right. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. That's Baron Browning who makes the stop. 3 quarters in the books from this one. Second down now, 7 to go. On play action now, McCarthy. He sends this one to the end zone. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings take a 4th quarter lead. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and a tremendous execution.
Here's Reichard set to kick this away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, it's Nix. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
First and 10 from the 41. Shotgun snap to Nix. This is Sutton working the right side. And he's going to be at midfield now as he gets out of bounds.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Shotgun snap. They're going to throw. Finds him over the middle. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. He gets 6 on that play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Nix with it on first. Finding Reynolds. And he gets in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos take a fourth-quarter lead. The impact this guy has had on this game, Brock, has been massive. They'd be on the comeback trail right now if it wasn't for his 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that second one far bigger than his first when you just look at the game circumstances. Puts him in front here in the second half. It puts a little jet fuel in the engines of their defense.
Lots there to tack on the extra point. And the Broncos push their lead to 3. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Returnable from the 1. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's the one back on the handoff. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Throwing off the play fake here. Kittle brings it in.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
You know, these 3rd and short situations, you rep them all the time. Snap after snap, rep after rep. You're expecting man-to-man coverage in that down and distance, and you're expecting to execute. That time on 3rd and short, they can't get the job done.
And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Williams, running right. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Nix off the play action. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw, but it's incomplete.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. One alligator, two alligator, three alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Putting the tight end in motion. On third down, here's Nix. Pass complete to Dulcich. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
And, oh, just a hair too much on that kick. The punt lands in the end zone. This one's coming out to the 20. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll throw. We'll get this to Jefferson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 27 on the play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down. Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. On first, massive hit. The ball is out. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play.
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is a premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. Put the body on the line for his team. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Throwing on 1st down, Nix. They did it! He made the interception! And the Vikings have some new life in the 4th. Well, okay, I guess we've got a couple of very giving teams today, Brock. One side coughs it up with a fumble. Then the other side graciously hands it right back with the interception.
Hey, listen, if you like playmaking defenses, then you like this game right here. These defenses, they're the ones supplying the big plays, and they're putting their stamp on this game.
Has the connection to Hawkinson. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession, or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. He puts some air under this one, deep right. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
Second and 10, McCarthy. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down. the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Setting up to pass. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. Has room down the left sideline. Into the red zone. And this one may be out of reach now because the defense comes through with 6. That play, Brock, that play was beautiful. Not just making the interception, but then seeing the return slowly come together in front of him as he took it all the way to the house.
Yeah, I think even for us up here in the booth, it looked like a scene out of a movie, didn't it? Starts running it back, scans the field for a lane, then the blocks come just in the nick of time to wipe out the would-be tacklers, and he's got open space and nothing but the end zone in front of him.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. This one's going to bounce into the end zone and will end as a touchback. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Trying again after the pick, McCarthy. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. They connect on the deep shot. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down. 1st and 10, here's McCarthy. Trying to push it deep downfield. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That pass is complete to McBride. 16 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him, turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
All their timeouts left, but they still need a quick score here. It's 1st and 10. Back to the air, McCarthy. That's much too high and out of the end zone, incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. He was looking for T.J. Hawkinson. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
That play is so impressive on so many levels. Not just because it saves a touchdown, Kate. He had to time that perfectly to knock it free without drawing a flag or let him establish possession for the score. That is so, so good.
Looking to throw it. And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. And the Broncos get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Williams. And he's brought down for a loss.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
So the Broncos ride out of here with a win on the road. And they carried some of that winning football from last game into this contest. Now a modest little win streak blossoming for them, Brock. They've got 2 in a row as they get out of here with a victory. And that does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. With my partner in the booth, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Broncos are winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.